Welcome back to Melodic Interactive. I'm Garrett Peak, and today we've got a very exciting video for you. We're going to do a reheading and a tuning of this beautiful 1964 Rogers Holiday Kit. I've been a Rogers guy for forever. In fact, my first drum set was the Rogers R380. It was a used set that I got, and I tried to restore it. I don't think that the R380 is actually built by Rogers. I do believe that the shells were actually Yamaha, but all the hardware and all the other pieces to it were definitely created by Rogers. So I started with that set, and then I was able to acquire a 1967 Rogers Dynasonic later on, and I can tell you that I absolutely have loved that snare drum since I got it. I've always said that there's snare drums that might work better for specific situations, but I've never been in a situation where that Dynasonic wouldn't work. So I absolutely love it. I had a good buddy of mine in, a drum legend by the name of Jerry Brown, who you might know from Stevie Wonder, Lionel Richie, Stanley Clarke, and currently he is the drummer for the diva Miss Diana Ross. Jerry was in town with us, and he was talking with myself and my buddy Wade, who is one of the premier voices in vintage Ludwig kits. And we were talking about old drums and how I'm a big Rogers fan. And Jerry mentioned to me that he had a 1964 Rogers kit. So I was able to acquire the set off of Jerry, and today we were going to basically clean her up and put new heads on it and get her to sing. Now, when it comes to reheading these vintage Rogers kits, in my opinion, there's only one head that you should put on, and that would be Aquarian. The reason for that is one of the founders and original owners of the Aquarian company was drum legend Roy Burns. Now, Roy had many innovations, not only in drumming, but also in the product aspect, and he came to Aquarian from Rogers. So to honor Roy, it seems like with these Rogers kits, putting the Aquarian heads on is really the only way to go. So what we're going to put on today is Aquarian's product, the Modern Vintage Series. The Aquarian Modern Vintage Series are designed to look like the calfskin heads. They're designed to fit these vintage drums, and they give that same warm sound that we were used to with the old drums and the old heads. So let's go ahead and start stripping the drums down and get ready for the reheading.
The first step that we're going to take is we're going to remove all the lugs from the drum. We use our drum key, and notice that we're loosening each lug just a little bit before going across the drum to the next lug. We do this so that we don't warp the rim as we're removing it. We get all the lugs done evenly, pull the rim off, pull the head off, flip the drum over, and do the same thing. While the heads are off, this is a good time to check all the screws on the inside of the drum and make sure that they're tight. If they are tight, go ahead and place the head back on top of the drum and make sure that you have a nice, good, flat lie on the seat of the shell. Then you want to put your rim back on top of the drum head and start replacing the lugs. You finger tighten the lugs so that you don't get any one side too tight, which could help, once again, warp the rim or warp the head. And after that, you start tightening the lugs. Now, an optional step that I like to take here is I like to use the palm of my hand and push very firmly on top of the head to help crack a little bit of the glue between the rim of the head and the actual head itself. The reason that I do this is because the glue itself will break over time if it's got some loose parts to it, and that will help detune the head. So just in the very beginning, if we push down and crack that glue, then we don't have to worry about the head falling out of tune later. So now that we have the top head done, we flip the drum over and we do the exact same steps with the bottom head. We replace the head, match it up with the badges, finger tighten the lugs, and then after they are all even so that the rim doesn't warp, we take our drum key and we start to tighten the head. Once the head is tightened, once again, we're going to push our palm into it to break the glue, and then we're going to use our stick to go around, make sure that all of them are tuned. Once that is all done, then we basically check the top head and the bottom head to see how they sound together. A lot of times when this step happens, I don't get too crazy with the first drum because as I tune the second and third or the fourth drum, I might find a tuning that I like the best. So I pretty much just try to get the drum in tune with itself and then see if I stumble upon a tuning that I really like with the other drums and then match this one to it. But that will take care of the reheading and putting the new Aquarian Modern Vintage 2s on this head. So let's go ahead and see how she sounds. Wow, I definitely cannot say enough about these heads. Not only do they give that 1960s look, they give the same feel and they give the same sound. I definitely felt like I was in a time machine as I was playing that. Definitely love the way that the drums sound. Of course, when you combine those modern vintages with the Rogers shells, you get a fantastic warmth and feel. So that takes it for the video today, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below, and I'll try to get to them as best that I can. Once again, this is Garrett from Melodic Interactive, and if you like this video, please like and share, and come check out some of the other things that we've got going on at Melodic Interactive and on our YouTube page. That will include lessons, interviews, and product reviews. All right, you guys have a good one.